right? So if the Moors look like us, how are they classified as white? So this is when you get to status correction, because the free white persons in law, that's in Europe. The whites is the nobility. Even if they the black nobility, their classification is white man. But it don't got nothing to do with skin color. This is the black hen, because it's the proverbial black hen that dangle from under the white robes of the KKK before we had pale faces overrun that shit. So now we think that the KKK is full of pale faces and that's who started it, but it came from the Black Brotherhood of Spain, right? So when we go to the maps, let's go to some of these slides, Elder. See, I like giving them receipts and visuals because remember, Baba say you got to give them charts, diagrams, graphs, pictures, right, and descriptions.
Whole layout.
The more fields of understanding you approach the information with, the clearer you can make it where they can break free from the trap.
Okay, I'm gonna put this one first. We got 2-3 videos, I think, too, in this thing too. They break down some of the stuff. They got damn teeth too hot. Shit. Damn tongue. All right. Shit, what the hell? All right, here we go, y'all. Hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, y'all. We about to get it cracking. You know how me and Rod do it. We the first one to start doing it. Everybody just start doing it out to us.
Well, we ain't the first, Elder, but we did it different than everybody else.
Major 5.
Okay, zoom in on the bottom.
The first to do it like we do it, like the actual live study.
Yeah. If you can zoom in to the red portion on the bottom right of the picture, can you see those states? Right here. Can you see the name of the states under there?
Georgia. Yeah. Be Alabama, Georgia. It looks like
now remember,
Mississippi is too far. The red line going over. You got Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, a little bit of North Carolina, like a tip of North Carolina, South Carolina. Yeah, but
right. So
got a better one. Hold on.
This was a concentration. This is where the delegation was. When you look at where the red dots is, I wish it was clear. It ain't gonna come in no clearer though.
Right here,
but that section right there, right? Yeah. This is where. Okay, now remember, we coming through Georgia from Florida, right? Now you see the red line that go across the top.
Right here.
Yep.
They go all the way
right. Okay, now
to like Texas.
Now look at Now look at the blue line that follow the rivers. See them?
Yeah.
Okay, now why are those two different lines significant? This goes back to how well you know your culture. When we travel, we always traveled the waterways when we was going far distances. So the trail, the blue trail, it would be the trail of us repopulating the South where we came from. And the red would be them sending fictitious characters under the false pretense of being us. Because remember, this was all being done by the 32-degree Scottish Rite Freemasons.
Right, go ahead.
And they was trying to usurp the blue house, the York Rite, which is the blue house, which is the blue line. Right? Now, you get a whole nother story when you look this up, and then you do analysis with the, I didn't do it this time, with the Mason-Dixon line. The Mason-Dixon line was the line that none of the settlers was supposed to cross.
The Mason-Dixon line.
It became the line of demarcation between North and South. That's how they was trying to contain the war into smaller territories till the ceasefire. Once we had a ceasefire, we can all go back home now. We got a different set of marching orders. Right. You see that white line on that blue picture, second row, second picture?
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
That's the Mason and Dixon line. That's separated north from south. Right. That big old red patch is what they designated as Indian territory. Right. They was never supposed to go there. Right. They was never supposed to cross the Appalachian Mountains because those was 9 treaty tribes, what we call outlaw tribes. And now you know why all my heroes is outlaws.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay, now in this
outlaw
process,
like Tupac the Outlaw.
That's right. That's what that's all about. Right. The outlaw tribes are the tribes that the corporate entity known as America could never get to do treaties with them because they wanted us to surrender the land. Remember, from the time they came with Columbus, the false pretenses they came to learn new trade routes to Asia. That's what their original cover story was. If they was coming to find trade routes, why would they send Cortez to overrun Central and South America with soldiers? That's not looking for a trade route. That's looking for a conquest. And that's why they call conquistadors.
What?
See where it say Western territories? Right now, notice Western territories, but you got Oregon and Cali in the blue. Yeah. Right?
United States of America.
Yep. Now, all of them states that's in the Western territories was divided up. Spain had took this part known as California and Oregon. Spain was still fighting between Texas and California. Once we start going back home to the South, we still had to contend with the Mexico-American War, the Mexicans fighting the corporations coming in from the East, but they was coming in from the Gulf. And then they started coming in from the Pacific because they was going around the outside of South America, coming in on the West. That's how they end up sacking the Califia Queens with no soldiers, no male soldiers there to fight because they was all going to Florida to fight the Gullah Wars. Mm-hmm. Right? So when you looking at these maps and you seeing the travel, right, you realize that all of the gray area, that's the Iroquois Confederation. They became known as the Confederate South. Right? Everything on the other side of the white line, right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everything that's in the blue with Michigan, New York, New Jersey, all that, that was the first settlement on the East Coast that spread across the land. Those were a whole different set of tribes that they was at odds with than the tribes that was the Confederates. So at the ceasefire, right, the ceasefire caused them to have to set up an interim government to serve as like a mediator between the two factions that's fighting the war. Mm. Now, while we fighting the war, remember, they still got to get the paleface a drop of blood. Mm. So they use the systems to do two things at the same time, to try to make us forget our birthright to the land is the most important thing they wanted to do. The second thing is to clean up the great debauchery, the genetic fuck up from the laboratories in the Middle East. We ain't from over there. Now, if you go to Google and you Google what was the oldest biblically named city, the first biblically named city in America, right? And look at the year, it's not going to be before 1492, and I bet my life on it. Because we didn't even charter cities. We lived in villages and townships that became converted into cities and metropolises.
It's saying Jericho. I think Jericho's hold up in America. That's what I got.
What they say, Jericho is one of the oldest continually occupied. What did it say?
It ain't in the. It ain't. Okay, known as the Jericho is described in the Bible. Like, but Jericho is close to the Jordan River, so that's the Middle East, right?
Yeah, but we trying to find in America.
All right, let me take this out. Let me take maybe the biblical word. Hold up. Oh shit! Why this shit lagging like that? Yeah, we had towns and villages. Hold up. Okay, hold this. St. Augustine, Florida.
What year?
Okay.
You might have to click on it to see the year.
St. Augustine would be like the French or something, right? Or Spanish.
Augustine was one of the Catholic saints. That's my mama name.
15. Oh, hold up. I think it's 1556.
You know what? Rephrase the question. Say when was the first biblically named city chartered in America? Take our oldest and put it in first.
I got you. I don't know why this shit like. Oh, wait. So when was it? Hey, what's that question again? When was the first
biblically named city chartered? I think it's called Jericho though. I got it in my file. I should just look at it. My face might disappear for a minute while I look this up.
Go ahead. This damn shit is erasing all my damn shit.
Here you go. Bethel, Connecticut is the first. Nope. Bethel, Ohio, 1818. Bethel, Vermont, 1761. I'm trying to find the oldest one. Danbury, Connecticut, 1684. Salem, Connecticut, 1637.
Hey, Raw, I think it is because you say biblical, you talking about the goddamn Catholics. So the Catholics brought the Bible. We didn't have no Bible over here. So 15, they have the St. Augustine 1565 got to be the first biblical. You know what I'm saying? Like you, because there wasn't no city. It was cities back then during the biblical time, but they wasn't recorded in they shit. Besides the land, besides what Inky them recorded, they call it over here the land beyond the Great River. You know what I'm saying? They had it's one word, but the meaning come out to the land beyond the Great River. And that's what they used to call this place over here, the land beyond the Great River. But like other than some biblical city, them niggas, that biblical shit, they brought the conquistadors, brought that over here with them.
What year was St. Augustine chartered? See, the reason why I'm bringing this up, Elder, this is important. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because the people that's partially informed is trying to use this as evidence that the Bible is relevant to the people of this land. The Bible is the handbook to usurp. It's the blueprint. Once you get them into the Bible contract, right? This is your 1619 date. Once you get them into the Bible contract, you got 400 years to replace them. Remember, between the Old and New Testament is how long? 400 years, right? They call that the dark period of the Jewish faith, right? So it's 400 years between the Old and New Testament. It's 400 years where we supposed to have been in so-called bondage. All this is contractual terms. This 400 years is a contract that's in the Bible. And it's the contract for somebody to play the role of these characters in order for you to be trapped in this contract, right? So they use these biblical cities to try to prove that America is the land that this Bible is talking about, when none of that had anything to do with us before Columbus came. That's why we point out when these cities was named and chartered, because they was named and chartered. First of all, the fact that they chartered, do you even know what a charter is? A charter is a permission from the crown to perform a function, right? So everybody need what you would call it as an equal in law. That means you have to assume a legal fiction in order to do business with the corporation, because man is truth and falsehood is strangely mixed, says Noble Drew Ali. What do we mean by that? The falsehood is the straw man. The truth is the true man. The true man realizes he's just in the Truman Show because the world is a stage and we are just actors. And the script that we playing out is the biblical construct. So we assume the good people, what we perceive as the good people of the Bible, never knowing that Jacob means supplanter. It's a verb. It's not a noun. It's not a name. It's a verb. It's an action. It's what somebody does to somebody else. Just like Edom. Edom is a descriptive noun. It's telling you that whoever it is that's about to be usurped is ruddy red clay dirt. That's what Edom means. Edom is also the same word for Adama, earthborn, the man of the earth. And Elijah said, we the owners, the makers, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. We've been here so long, here wasn't here until we built it. So what did that mean? That means that we the makers and the owners. Creams of the planet Earth, God of the universe. To be the cream of the planet Earth, you have to be the salt of the earth, because you're the one that's responsible for the revitalizing of culture wherever you go. But culture and civilization is not the same thing. To make you civilized is to put you in a civil jurisdiction. It's to put you back in a system of levies and liens, where all things is negotiated through contract negotiations, and we call that commercialized law. And that's why all crime is commercial. It's a commodity to be traded. How do you trade in crime? So all of the stuff that they doing from the tribe of Levi is to set the levies. The levy is the lien. Lien is the anagram for Enlil. They telling you the responsible parties. Enlil means Sky Daddy. Sky Daddy is this fictitious character that the church give you to put your faith in so he can distract you from what's going on in life. Because the chapter of misery, you need somebody to blame for your misery in order for you to accept it, because it can't possibly be your own doing from your self-neglect of educating yourself.